Yo, this your boy Joe, the M.I.ALIENS podcast. Shouts out to my boy Don Beezy.
We in this bitch.
The new host Moscato.
Yo.
And my boy Meat.
Turn up.
So right now we're going to discuss a topic about the phrase or the term bitches and niggas. Moscato, I want you to take off.
Okay. Personally, I don't like to use the word bitch. I used to use it because of society, influences from music, you know. Nowadays, I'm not gonna shame you as a woman for calling yourself a bitch because, you know, a song, I'm a boss ass bitch. When I get a little turn, you know, with my homegirls, I be calling them bitch this, bitch that. I feel between females, it's okay. The word bitch, in my opinion, I think has a negative connotation. It all depends how you use it.
But you said something very interesting. You said that between females is okay. Why is it okay for females to use that term within themselves?
For example, I can call my homegirl a bitch, but if Don Beo goes, oh, I was around these bitches, like, why they gotta be bitches? Because to me, the way you say it is negative. For sure.
Let's just say if he was around some rude females,
okay,
that was acting really bitchy. You know, they was doing things that wasn't acting ladylike.
Bitch-like.
So he referred to those specific group of women as bitches at the time. They was acting like bitches. He doesn't know them. He don't care for them. But at that time, all he know them as bitches. There's a group of dudes that you probably seen probably holler at you or something like that, and they was a little weird about it or too aggressive.
Fucking weird ass niggas.
And so they could have them niggas tripping. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that's who they are. Like that's you gonna judge them, but they was being some fucking niggas. They was being wild. They was tripping.
Yeah.
So why is it that a man can't say that if that's what it is?
They can, but that's what I mean. How you use it, you know. If he was just describing a woman or a group of females and called them bitches, that's not okay. If they treated him and they were acting like bitches, okay.
But see, my thing is, I feel like that's a little. Why do you have to be a little extra? Why you have to explain all that? If he know it to be like they was acting like bitches, so I'm gonna call them bitches. That's the reason why he's calling them bitches, because that's how they was acting. That's why I'm addressing them as.
But she's saying like niggas just be using bitches just.
That's something completely different. That's something completely different. That's something completely different. As far as somebody saying just using the word bitch as like it's a regular thing. That's something completely different. Opposed from these bitches all just with tripping. That's completely different.
Correct.
But that's not what you said though. You said with women, it's fine for them just to call each other bitches because they know exactly what they're talking about. But for a man, it's already used as negative.
Like it's negative off rip.
I think without even no explanation, you don't even know the story. It's just why they gotta be bitches. Opposed from like. Why did you call them bitches? Okay. Why were they bitches? You know what I'm saying? So if you approach it that way, so I can respect that. I can respect any person or any woman, even a male. If you want to question somebody on that about why you talking like that, why were they bitches? I can explain that.
Okay.
But if you come at me saying don't call women a bitch, I'm like, man, fuck you, bitch. You a bitch. Your mama a bitch. Like, well, do something.
I think. What she's
like, because it's certain dudes that speak up on these type of topics, but they don't know how to take care of a woman. And so, like, or they don't even got a woman. So, like, if you don't even know how to take care of a woman, like stay in a child's place. Like, I'll call a female a bitch, you a bitch, and I got all respect for women. I got the utmost respect. I got 6 sisters. I got a mother that I love dearly. And so, anybody disrespect that, like, it's go time. Yeah. And so, like, any female that I approach, like, I'm gonna treat you with respect, unless you show me something that you're not being a lady, and I'm gonna call it out. Cause maybe your man let you run wild. You could do anything under the sun, and you still a queen or a princess, or whatever the case may be. But for me, I'm gonna let you know you being a bitch. Like, I'm gonna put you in your place. I'll humble your ass. Like, I'm not on that shit.
I think it's for women. It's not that deep. I honestly think in a women's point of view, it's more of a self-empowerment thing. Like,
that's bullshit.
Hear me out. So
he didn't even make a fucking point. No, fuck that.
Hear me out.
Fuck that.
So,
he didn't say shit. He said he thinks it's empowerment.
Hey, wait. You had your 5 minutes.
He did have his 5 minutes.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. You're acting like a hoe right now. Cutting me off and shit.
Cutting you off?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Watch this shit. Watch this whole shit. Go ahead, weak sauce.
I think for them it's more so like
you think
coming from a nigga's perspective.
A nigga.
It's
a nigga.
Bro,
Come
shut the
on,
fuck up,
chill.
bro.
Everybody let you get your shit off.
Go ahead.
I think from their perspective it's more so like when it comes from a nigga's mouth, it's never anything good.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's negative all
if
real.
like I'm calling a Don, yo Don, you're acting like a bitch. Obviously I'm not. You're acting like a good ass nigga. Or if I'm like, yo, these bitches are fucking trifling. Like it's never anything good. But for them, it's more of a like a taking the word from us, from our power, and amongst themselves, they're empowering each other.
Just like we did niggas.
Just like niggas. So if a cracker called me a nigga, like yo, like fuck you. But if you call me a nigga, like bro, what's up, girl? Like you good? Like. It's more of a when crackers are calling me niggas, it's like or a nigga like that off rip means something like nothing good
For sure.
But if we're in this room right now, y'all my niggas, like
Right.
you took the word and flipped it. For them, it's the same thing.
Well, I this is me. Like I said before, like when if a dude that doesn't have a woman try to correct me about how I'm treating a woman, you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't understand the context behind this.
Right. So I'm not saying that you would ever call someone who's not acting like a bitch, but
got you
got to look at it from this point of view. Like for women, it's like damn, when it comes out your mouth, it's never ever anything good. Like when you say someone's acting like a bitch, you can never say something positive about that person.
Can I
name one time you said bitch and that meant positive in a positive
that bitch
way.
bad as fuck. That's my bitch. That's
mean,
my bitch right there. Number one bitch in town, mine.
Okay.
Right here.
But that
Blushing.
Hold on, I got you. I'm sorry to bring this up because this was last time, but I told my story time about how me and Don Bayo met,
For sure.
and he called me a bitch.
Yeah.
Look
And
at
it
the
was-
context. The
Okay,
context of it.
correct. So I see what you're talking about as well, how you just said it, but Meat has a point as well because, like I said, I can call my homegirl a bitch, but if I'm like you acting like a bitch to a man, that's me coming out and saying it in a negative
Demoralizing.
connotation. Like, yeah.
emasculating.
Yeah,
So
because
it all depends.
You're
Big-
comparing him to a female. What
big meat.
does the word bitch mean?
Female dog.
Female dog in heat. So what is a female dog in heat? How they act when they're in heat?
Like bitches.
No, you can't say that. Like how they
But-
act. They're really aggressive.
Right.
They're really agitated. Like they're really like they can bite at any time.
Horny.
So they're horny. They are horny. But like when they
From
get
a-
like
from a-
that, they
from a-
get really aggressive and they get out of whack. You know, they get a little crazy.
Right.
So when a woman is acting out of whack, i.e., acting mannish, being rude, whatever the case may be, that's terms of acting like a bitch. When a man is not acting like a man, he's acting like a female, acting out of turn, like he can't control his emotions or whatever the case may be. You would say he's acting like a bitch. So yes, it will be negative. You call a man a bitch, but when you call like just like females use a term, you're saying like that's my bitch right there. Let's just like if I say it with my woman,
And could I piggyback off
Go
that?
for it, bro.
And I feel like with women specifically, you guys have to set the bar. You guys can't be running around, I'm a badass bitch, girl, bitch. Because when you guys do that, y'all make it a little desensitized. So then we come behind like, yo, they calling themselves bitches. It's cool. You know, this is what's popping now.
All right.
So I'm like, go
Same
ahead.
question. So how would you feel if a cracker called you a nigga?
exactly.
Because
So
we made the word nigger desensitized. So
And
well, we never called ourselves that. They called us that, and we flipped it.
right.
NIGGA.
So women
He-
call each other bitches.
Same way with bitches.
And
No, but you got again the context of it. The nigga was like that was a racial slur that was remixed, and we transferred it into something different. The word bitch is a real word that really means something, and I just went over that.
So does Negro, nigger.
It's crazy because like nigger was not a racial slur before crackers got it. They made it into one. But we can get into that after.
Fact.
But if a white person come to me and say, "What's up, nigga?" I'm not gonna trip.
Nah.
Not gonna trip. I call my white boys all the time. What's up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Y'all probably rock different. White niggas, Spanish niggas, short niggas, fat niggas everywhere. But NIGGERS, it's a different plateau. You know what I'm saying? Like, which sounds totally crazy, but if someone white were to just walk up to me and call me that, I wouldn't say it's go time, but I gotta check you, bro. You
So
know, I got to make
that's-
sure you don't do that again to me and to, you know, someone of, you know, likeness.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So what's the difference between a girl doing that?
A girl doing what?
Checking you for calling them a bitch.
I feel like it's different because
No.
no, the thing about it, y'all talking about, because my understanding of the N word ain't the same understanding you got.
Facts.
My understanding of the N word ain't the same understanding you got. I've taken this word and traced this word back far as fuck, and is one of the derivatives is negus. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that's a king.
Facts.
So they're just, you gotta understand, when you really do research, white people haven't come up with shit.
Fact.
They steal everything and make it their own.
100%.
So the word negus, I'm thinking like, okay, y'all got this word from that, so y'all low key, y'all know we kings. Y'all know we kings in this bitch. So, you know, we get, you know, society and, you know, everything we've been through, civil rights, everything we've been through. Now this word has a negative stamp. We remixed it and took it back again, you know what I'm saying, and made it ours. This bitch, I don't know how far this bitch thing go.
But
You know what I'm saying?
It's under, but so it's.
I don't know how
this-
far y'all could do the research on your own and figure out how far this bitch thing has gone. I don't know.
So-
from my understanding, this is a like a 18th century thing.
Go ahead,
you know what I'm
Meek.
saying? To
Go
start
ahead,
calling
Meek.
women
So-
bitches and shit.
So because the word bitch doesn't go as far back as negus,
Uh-huh.
if it
it,
doesn't,
it's less impactful or less derogative.
I wouldn't say that. I would say like it goes from how it was used and how like that. That's it. Perspective.
I mean, don't
How
get me,
it's
don't get
used.
me
Like-
wrong. Like
like,
I'm a victim of calling everybody a bitch, except I wouldn't call a female a bitch. I call you a bitch. I call you a bitch, but that's out of love. Like, if
You love me,
Niggas,
so you call me
stop
a bitch?
capping, man. You
Nigga, like,
be like,
so-
man, them
so-
bitches over there.
So it's like if Adonis is like acting like a bitch, I'd be like, bro, you act like a bitch, and that's that.
Never.
That our relationship is that like foundational that I can say, yo, you're acting like a bitch, and
For
he
sure.
understands like, yo, like I need to self check myself.
right?
so it goes to who it is, and
But
and the perspective.
But even though I'm saying it out of love because we have that relationship, the next person might not take it that way,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
or
For sure.
it wasn't a positive thing that I'm saying, yo, you're acting like a bitch.
For sure.
He takes it as a positive thing because he's just that so self-aware that, yo, like I need to like take what you're saying and like hard down, like understand that, yo, like I'm acting outside myself.
So it seems like words don't really mean things like unless you take it that way.
Or
But-
it depends on the person, because going back to what I was saying is I used to call myself a bitch, and what he was just saying about how, you know, women, like it's hard to respect the word, but then you're calling yourself a badass bitch. That's one of the reasons, one of the many reasons why I stopped calling myself, referring myself as a bitch.
Fact.
So I mean, it all depends also on the person, because he was talking about how for him he calls anybody nigga. It could be a Spanish nigga, a white nigga, but you leave Miami,
nigga.
or maybe you go to a hood in Miami and you say nigga, but maybe it sounded like nigger, and because I don't look black or something, you're gonna be offended. You want to fight me or you want to shoot me?
Stab.
So
All right, that's
yeah. So it's
Niggas
it
don't
all
shoot.
depends on the person too, because there's people that are locked up. I have a boy that was locked up in prison here, and he was talking about it doesn't matter what you were. People refer to each other as nigga. So
Right.
it all depends on the person too.
For sure.
That's how I feel about
And
it.
probably, you know, your location as well. Because you go to Alabama with this shit ain't flying. You go to these rural areas, that shit ain't flying. Shit, you probably just go to northern Florida, that shit ain't flying.
Right.
But like down here in the crib, bro, we do shit different. This our own fucking town. This our own state.
There's so
Bill
many different.
Gluckman down for the bitches and hoes.
But yeah, it's mostly you know, around the context, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people
For sure.
feel energy, you know what I'm saying? Cause like he said, this my bitch, bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? A woman may feel super crazy empowered by that. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
They might. And like you said, another woman, a woman who may see him calling his woman that, may be like, these motherfuckers tripping.
Right.
I would never.
It's all context, but I feel like on your point, the safest thing is to probably feel the vibe before you
Fact.
you know throwing out
Fact.
something that may be derogatory.
And that just that goes for like every word other than bitch, like nigga, bitch.
It goes for everything.
Cracker, fuck, nigga. Like it's triggers to people. Like people have triggers. Like
Yeah.
Ain't no positive for fuck nigga though.
nah.
That was like one of
Ain't
my
no
favorite
positive.
Well, I could be like, yo, fuck, nigga, but you take that out of love.
That's a fact.
No,
words.
Or
no,
I'll be like,
you
what's up?
have never said that shit
Bro,
to
I
me.
always. Bro, I used to say, "What's up, fuck?"
I called
nigga?"
you a fuck nigga.
Facts.
What's up, fuck
facts,
nigga?
facts.
And you
Because
couldn't
you do it real bad. What's up, fuck nigga?
Exactly. What's up, fuck nigga?
Yeah, you right. Him too. Yeah.
Oh,
Y'all
bitch,
niggas
nigga.
You did the same shit though.
right. He been wanting to call me a bitch this whole time. But for sure.
Duly noted. If y'all come up to me saying I'm a bitch nigga or anybody outside of this room saying this shit, is over with.
Go time.
Exactly.
Hey, we need go time shirts.
Putting a willy.
Go time.
Exactly. That's my
You
point.
get the Willie treatment.
That's the
You
whole
get the
point
Willie
right there.
Now, speaking of bitches,
Fact.
a lot of people have seen Kanye crying over the last week or so.
Oh yeah.
And they're calling him a bitch. You know, you're on stage, you're crying like a female.
Did you see the whole thing?
I watched the majority of it.
Is
Yeah.
that-
What about you?
This nigga's everywhere, by the way.
I was on my mom's birthday thing.
It's cool. It's cool. We'll bring you up to speed as much as we can. You watch any of it?
Is that when he was doing that rally with the
Yeah,
bulletproof
For
vest?
sure.
Yes.
So a lot of people saying that he's a bitch, you know, for crying on the stage and stuff like that, which I feel like right now society's so desensitized to shit. He's talking about aborting his daughter. Yeah, he was talking about, you know, he was going to go through with it initially, and then he decided not to, and they decided to have her.
Okay.
You know, and once he started talking about those moments, I'm sure he relived, you know, those moments in his head, and you know, he started crying about the shit. How the news is portraying this is like, this nigga's crazy. But how talking about aborting your daughter, you know, and not doing it, not going through with it, how is that emasculating at all? You know what I'm saying? How does that make someone a bitch?
Hold on, but weren't him and Kim having troubles having babies? Like this was the first baby or the last one?
It was North.
North
They were referring to North.
Because I think they did treatment and everything, so I'm confused about the abortion part.
I'm not sure about all that.
This is what I watched the whole thing. This is what I saw because he cried on like 2 occasions. He was crying when he was talking about the abortion of North, and it was weird because he was doing that because he was everywhere with it. He did that. He started crying, no tears from what I saw.
Oh, nigga, I seen tears. Nigga.
Yeah.
Face glossy.
So he started crying. Then somebody said, "What I got to do anything? Like, what's your point?" And he kind of got back right. And so it's just like, maybe he's faking. And then he's talking about. Then he went to his dad saying like, his mom, saved his life too because his dad wanted an abortion. He almost cried there. Then he got back
I
right.
remember that part.
And then he got back right. Like whether it was real or not, that's beyond me. But my thing is, I don't think it's wrong from the crowd, but I think it was a little weird because when I watched the whole thing, the audio was kind of weird. It was off.
Okay.
So it's like you really
Distorted.
can't hear it. It was really distorted. You really couldn't hear it, and it seemed like it was somebody off of somebody's phone.
For sure.
And so if you're doing something like this, where is your footage? You know what I'm saying? I know you mic'd up. Where is your footage? People came up on stage, and it was one girl
That's a fact.
that came on stage, and she was asking questions because he was talking about abortions. He was making this point.
young lady that brought gun control.
I'm not sure. Her name was Georgia. She was a white girl.
Okay, we're not talking about this.
She was talking about how she got offended because she was a feminist. I believe she was a feminist. Don't quote me on that, but she was talking about she had an abortion, and that's why she was offended about. He was saying he wanted to illegalize like abortions, like he don't want abortions to go on.
Oh.
And she gave her whole spiel, but you couldn't really hear her. So he reiterated what she was saying, a paraphrase, and said she just had an abortion a couple weeks ago, and she couldn't take care of him because she was on minimum wage. And that's why she had an abortion. But he was trying to say like, let me make up a plan, or I have a plan set in place where if you have a baby, we'll pay you for it. So he was just like, what if you get $1 million?
I mean, it kind of happens already.
But check,
like with income tax, but
this is what he was trying to do though. Like he was trying to encourage people to have a baby because like he said something about on like how he was on
It's like $1 million or some shit, right?
He said $1 million. That he was just giving the idea, but people keep taking them literally. You gotta understand, when you talk to a bunch of people and everybody asking questions and throwing you off, and you have to stay focused on what the message you gotta get off, but you gotta give it to a way that everybody is listening. So you gotta bring them into your world. You gotta explain it and break it down.
And this nigga's not a politician, you know what I'm saying? So he's just going out there, doing something. I wouldn't say he's freelancing because he is an artist. He's used to being in front of people, but answering question after question, on the spot. Ain't no script.
I think he did a good job.
I feel like he did a good job.
My thing is, if you don't have them, because everybody's looking at him like he's a politician, which doesn't really mean shit. Because politicians say bullshit all the time. They're just more confident in their bullshit. So that I'm
straight cap to you.
So for me, it's like I don't believe that shit. For him, I see the struggle. I can see it in his face. So it comes off as more genuine.
For sure.
And so if you're not understanding the bigger picture and you just want to quote him on everything, $1 million for a baby, what? Like, and you don't understand that. Like it seems crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he was saying, like, if you get $1 million for each baby you have, people will just start having babies. And if everybody's having babies, then you have this joy because kids are the future,
Mm-hmm.
which is something that people just don't pay attention to.
People can't grasp the concept.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he was saying that, and people, like, even in the crowd, they didn't really grasp that concept. And he was saying, like, man, people call me crazy, but this world is crazy.
For sure.
This world is crazy.
For sure.
And this is something that other countries would fucking pick up on and run with this idea. He's saying that he don't have the money, the money to do it, but he has a platform for the people who do have the money to do it. And that's what he's trying to do. So I don't know if his message got out there correctly, but I do know that if the media is trying to down somebody, they gotta be doing something good.
Yeah.
They gotta be doing something good. If the media is trying to down somebody, now I do know that they down in Donald Trump and they down in Kanye West. Now I'm not trying to say I trust Kanye. I'm not trying to say I trust Donald Trump because they were just cool, and now they're not cool now, supposedly, because he said how his country's being ran. I don't know if that was a diss to Donald Trump or what. So
I think he was referring to the powers that be.
He did say that. He did say something about the powers that be, as far as you don't see the powers. You don't see those people. You don't see it like that. They targeting a age group from 8 to 21, black girls, and they want you to buy this. They want you to feel this way, and they got the powers to do so. And you don't see that. He said his name is not on the board. His name is not on the list on the board at Gap or Adidas. And so in the sense of he has no power. He has no say so as far as nothing. And he's still trying to make moves and trying to, I don't know, get that message across as far as like that power.
For sure.
And like before he was on Sway, he was trying to say, man, I'm trying to be like Ralph Lauren. I'm trying to be like the next this and try to be the next that, but they don't let me do that. And they was like, man, those rich people problems. It's like, man, y'all don't get it. It's a power thing.
Yeah.
If they don't allow me to do it, that means you can't do it.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? If they don't let me in the door and I got money, what that says about you when you do get money, it means to say like that money don't mean shit.
For sure.
But explain this to me, how, because I remember Kanye back in the day saying George Bush is a racist. So I don't get how he was talking about George Bush being a racist, and now 2020 he's all buddy with Trump or whatever.
You think Trump is racist?
Fact.
What?
You think Trump is racist?
Fact.
Yes.
Okay, this what I would say. Which I'm not saying he's not racist. I don't give a fuck, honestly. But I would say that Trump has, brought more awareness of black lives than Obama did.
But
the reason
it's
why
because of his racism.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Go ahead.
Okay. For me, I'm saying that he's a racist because I've seen videos where he's in a rally and there's a couple that has a Black Lives Matter shirt on, and he's telling the white people in the crowd to kick them out. And if they were if they would have done this a couple years back, they wouldn't have done it because they know what would have happened to them. They would have never interrupted this rally.
I like it. And I like the honesty, because my thing is, if had he not done that, we would still been on the same playing ground. Like we wouldn't have been offended. If Kanye would have never said nothing about Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman.
If he would have never said that, like, what is the uproar? Like, and like him saying that, like, how many times, like the fact that
Wait, Joe, but hold on, because I'm trying to understand what you're trying to tell me right now.
So
what I'm saying is, Trump says something very racist, and it's been proven that he's paid people to like join his campaign or whatever, minorities, but then at the same time he's telling white people like, go ahead and pick up the minorities, go ahead and hurt them and kill them or whatever.
He's not stopping them.
He's not stopping them?
Like go ahead and do it.
So what are you gonna do if if I go over to your neighborhood and I tell somebody to go and slap your mom, or I tell somebody to go kick on you, what are you gonna do about it? Because that's what's been going on all this time, and nobody's done nothing.
So what I'm thinking he's saying is that when Obama was in office, he protected
gays, he protected everybody.
It was all kumbaya. It was no real world problems amongst minorities.
It was. What are you talking about?
I'm saying like it was never as serious as it was until Trump got in office.
No. Trump,
bruh, niggas was dying at an exponential rate when Obama was in.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is
Trump brought awareness to it
because he's racist.
I don't give a fuck.
But that's what we're saying. We're just saying that he's racist.
The thing
that's what we're saying.
I want to say one thing, my nigga. You are the first person to ever give me a fact about one thing Trump has done racist.
Bro, he's called black people monkeys.
This is the second thing. I've never heard this shit.
Why? How?
Nigga, I've been out. I be on the same thing y'all be on. I've never heard that. Ever. And that I've never seen that or heard that either.
Okay, wait. Let me throw another. I'm sorry. Let me throw another fact.
I'm sure y'all not gonna be here lying in my face. So I'm taking your word like 100 grand right now.
Send it to me.
I had seen it somewhere else, but I also watched it in the documentary called 13th on Netflix. And I forgot another fact too. That you know the Park 5 from New York?
For sure.
Yes.
Okay, in the Park 5, Trump was funding so they could give them the death penalty. He was saying that they're murderers and they're this and they're that. Why? Why else? Because they're black? Like, he legit was saying that. He was funding, and they were kids and they were underage. How are you going to fund kids to get the death penalty because you assume that they raped that lady?
He was doing the same shit our dumbass do right now. We watch the news and think the news is giving us correct fucking information. So he's going off what the fucking news is saying and like, man, fuck these kids.
No, let me stop you right there.
Is how I perceive it.
It wasn't as big until he did something. So a lot of the case was a lot of the public opinions were projected forward because of the shit he was funding. The case was going to be a thrown out case, but he paid out of his own pocket to fund a campaign and put out more news saying these kids are murderers and kill them.
Damn.
So it's not like he was watching the news and the news is already he was paying the news and paying campaigns and paying more advertisements.
And what evidence
wait, let me stop you right there. It was on the New York Times front page. He paid for that ad for these kids to be dead.
I don't like that shit.
So what I'm saying is there's more awareness now because we got to a point where we elected a racist in office.
You did.
I didn't vote.
That's what I'm saying.
However,
Your fault.
My mom voted for Trump.
Whoa, mama!
She voted for Trump, and I'll tell you why. It's because in the Haitian culture, the Clintons have stolen. And it's
this is a whole entire fact, my nigga.
From the FEMA funding of Haiti. So my mom carried that hate and
said fuck y'all so much.
So she was like, fuck it, like they're both evil, fuck it, I'd rather vote for the liar than the stealer. You feel me?
Okay.
So
they do a little more than stealing.
What I'm saying, bringing it back to Joe, is like, yeah, Trump is bringing more awareness to all this racism and black on black violence. It's because we got to a point where we elected him as a president. So we have no choice but as black people to unite and get this man out of office.
Or us unite than anything else.
Or get to a point where we never get to that point again. So when we elected Obama, it's like, yeah, nigga, we finally got a nigga in office. Like, nigga, it's gonna run right. But him being in office made shit run smooth. I agree. And Ross said it himself. We need to tear shit down. We need to get to a point where we have no choice but to tear shit down to build it back up.
Destroy before we elevate.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. Because y'all taking it as, it seemed like y'all think I'm for Trump.
No. All I was saying is that he's racist.
I don't give a fuck.
We're all saying the same shit.
Trump.
It's coming from different tones of context.
Okay, let's get past the fact that he's racist. Get past that.
Fact.
Okay, that awareness that he brought for us.
Fact. Okay.
The fact that he went to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Nobody knew about the Oklahoma bombings until
and
Trump pulled up.
That
You know what I'm saying?
he pulled up in that. He brought so much awareness. Like the world didn't know about that shit.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Obama never went there.